And welcome to Winder TV. I'm Winder, and you're in the right place tonight for the 2-week challenge finale. Now, I've been sitting here tonight, the last 20 minutes, having just a minor meltdown. Lots and lots of things going around my head. Sadness that it's over, that it will be over in 2 hours time. Stupidly hyped about this build that we've got to showcase tonight, and very, very nervous, and I haven't been that nervous about many of the legs of this challenge, but tonight's just a new level. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, welcome in everybody. Tonight we've got the most wonderful builder. In my opinion, probably, he's got to be up there with some of the best Planko builders in the world. We've got Beartastic. And Beartastic, he had a challenge for the last 2 weeks of building us a weenie. Our park is basically done, but we needed a centerpiece, and by God has he delivered. Bear, can we hear you? We got
you
that
hear
one.
me, yes. What's up, everybody?
How you feeling, sir?
I think equally as you, a little nervous.
Yeah?
But I'm excited. Very excited for tonight. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at it now. I should really show it off to everyone. Let's not talk anymore. Let's watch the opening video for the final episode of the 2-week challenge.
Welcome to Winderland.
Yeah, welcome and all you lovely Twitchy people. We're back for the final showcase.
And haven't we come a long way from our little project to redevelop Winder Farms all those months ago to our new glorious fully fledged theme park?
Yeah, we have Ridey. Well, it sings a glorious hotel, amazing new residential areas, and we are now a premium holiday destination.
The rides and attractions have proved to be very popular, and crowds are coming from all over the globe to visit.
And our park is complete with a great big new large erection in the lake.
Today is the grand opening of our big weenie, the final cherry on the top of our beautiful masterpiece.
I love a big weenie.
Beartastic has been hard at work developing the reclaimed land in the center of the lake, and it is something to behold.
He has created 2 fabulous displays for the guests to experience too. I can't wait to see them again from my rooftop bar with a nice schnapps.
Without any further ado, we now present the final addition to Winderland.
Well, you saw a little glimpse of that there. We're now in the park for proper. Oh, indeed. Holy moly, Bear has done something special.
I still kind of have to wrap my head around that I actually managed to make it, because like I was looking at that island in the start of the 2 weeks, and I was like, geez, I have to make an entire island, and I got to make a show, and I don't have all week, all the 2 weeks of time. Like I had a bit of real life stuff going on between.
Yes, I know.
But I'm happy with how it looks, and yeah.
The timing wasn't perfect, was it? Because I was just like, right, I need to give you that. I need to give you that. You got 2 weeks. Did you fancy starting here? And you're like, oh, I've got these maths assignments. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. I'm sure I could get a week in. And I was like, yeah, but it's 2 weeks. And you're like, no, it's all right. I'll get it done in a week.
It's fine.
And
yeah,
mate,
it was a bit unfortunate, but it's fine.
So, Bear, when you were given the island, and you were given the idea of this Weenie and doing a couple of shows for us, which we'll get onto later, what was the first thing that went through your head? I mean, like, I know you were umming and ahhing about a couple of ideas here and there, but
exactly, yeah.
How did we settle on
like,
this?
In advance, I mean, we talked about what I'll build. I didn't really know the size and things, but I knew it was going to be a bit of a larger, taller-ish like build, something. At first I wanted to do some like large tree that would light up at night and stuff, which seemed like a nice idea. But when I opened the park, the island was a bit larger than I thought it was, just like from like surface area wise.
Yeah.
So I had to rethink a bit.
Deceivingly big, wasn't it? Actually.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a small tower-ish, kind of like a tall build, but like not very large in like size, because I felt like the lake was gonna get covered up otherwise. But I think it fits very nicely with the size. It's not the issue. I also don't know if we talked about having a Ferris wheel inside of it. I'm not sure if I got surprised by that.
Yeah, I originally told you when I was saying, right, it'll be like this Weenie idea, and there won't be any rides. Don't worry about it. And then I thought, actually, no, he needs something there because otherwise it's not going to pull the guests over onto the middle island if there's no rides. Because that's just the way the mechanics work, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it makes people get there.
Yeah.
And the Ferris wheel kind of changed my plans the most, just because of the shape. Like, I didn't really know how I would incorporate a Ferris wheel inside of a tree or outside of a tree, and that kind of changed things up. So yeah, I just kind of started building something. First of all, I did notice that the Ferris wheel was pretty tall, so I kind of sunk the entire island down, in the sense that I just dug a hole into the island.
That amazed me
first.
When I saw it, I was like, "Wow, he's gone down." I thought he was going to go up. Yeah. I was imagining after seeing Aldermore like this big 70-meter monstrosity up here, this 70-story monstrosity up here. I was thinking it was going to be huge, but actually, you've sunk it, and it works with the park. You don't. It's an amazing Weenie. It's flawless looking.
Felt like if it was too tall, it would just like be. I wouldn't want it to like how do you call it? I didn't want it to be like the main thing of the park, because it's meant to be like one show and like a few shops and one flat ride, but it's not meant to be the I felt like not the area that people would go to and spend all their day at.
No, like Magic Kingdom or whatnot. I mean, you got the fairy castle, but to be honest, no one goes in it. You don't unless you're in Paris. You can't. I mean, in Paris you can go under it and see some kind of dragon or whatnot. But in America, literally, it's just a big tall bit of fiberglass. There's nothing going on inside that thing, and you walk around it, and it's the centerpiece for the shows and stuff, and that's about it. And that was kind of what I wanted here. So you've done exactly what you should have done. You've done it amazingly. So let's look in depth a bit more at this. How difficult was this to build? Because I mean, have you made like one tower and then just spun it on an axis? Or is it...
for the outside towers, yes, the ones with the yellow roofs.
Yeah.
I did that. I kind of just built one tower and rotated them around a bit, which, I kind of liked. It looks pretty nice. Because I wanted something to be on the outside, and plans also changed quite a bit. But I really started with the Ferris wheel and kind of skinning that.
Yeah.
And
where was the idea come from with this?
I don't really know. I just put some of these, like the ring that is around the Ferris wheel. That's what I started with.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kind of put something in the middle of it, and then I put some paths in, and I knew I had to put shops down, so I kind of put some shops here and there, and it kind of just grew from the Ferris wheel, I think. I kind of came up with the idea of it being like a water wheel, like the Ferris wheel being a water wheel that carries up water to the top there, and then water kind of running off to the sides of it.
It's like a
I was-
giant fountain, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
it kind of got to me that that's kind of works.
It's
but I don't really
brilliant.
know how I came to that. I was just I want something to kind of connect the outer ring with, you know, the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to put in, so I don't know. I just put out
So
water
that-
of it. It's like the first thing that came to mind.
I'll unpause the game for a second so everyone can see the waterfalls
Oh
working.
yeah, there's waterfalls coming from that as well. Yeah, yeah. Right, I didn't notice that.
Which is, again,
Um,
it's just beautiful. Look at that.
So yeah, you're right. It is kind of like a big fountain in the end.
It's phenomenal, mate. You also had a station to build in, to theme in, which is quite nice. Again,
Yeah,
it's got that really
a little
nice
boat station.
open neutral feel.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't know. I did the boat station very late. I don't know if it was like the last thing. Oh, there's a floating lamp there.
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
Just going to get rid of that.
Yeah, go on. Do that.
Didn't see that.
I
Shh.
missed that. Yeah, I added that like in the very, very end, really.
Yeah.
Before I did the show, but like in the end of the main build. And I just, you know, I had those towers in already, and I didn't want to put an extra blocky thing in front of it, because I think the main place where you're gonna watch this show is from that side where the station is, so I didn't want to hide the whole wheel.
Yeah.
So I went for like an open look.
Where, oh, good. Bear is human after all.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I like to pretend, but yes, I am.
It's all an illusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just phenomenal. So inside here, because the other thing you had to do was build like a plaza, wasn't it? Like an in-house
Yes.
plaza inside the Weenie. Now we haven't quite got a plaza, have we? But what
No,
we
it's
do
more
have,
of like a ring path.
but it works.
But yeah, it is. I mean, I did try and kind of make like a lot of path under it and just have the station be part of the plaza, but I couldn't get the paths to work.
Nah,
I hate them.
so what you've done is
Paths
incredible.
are my biggest enemy.
I think they're most people's enemy, aren't
So,
they?
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
this.
definitely.
The Hat's Beartastic
Yeah,
sign.
I got a bit of self-advertisement.
Oh, you got to, mate. You
No,
got to.
I had to spread the brand. I had to spread the brand.
I love it. Hat's Beartastic, and we got 4 of them.
Yes.
So we got
Yeah.
plenty of hats. We got plenty of hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got like a little plaza
that
up here,
sign.
which is quite nice as well. But this is on multiple levels, isn't it? Oh, I haven't
It
seen
is.
these
So,
cogs
I mean-
before. You've housed all
Which
like
ones?
working mechanisms in there and stuff. Let's
Yep.
have a look at those quickly.
So the thing is, I raised the like I lowered the whole Ferris wheel, but then obviously you have to connect the path up. So I kind of had to figure a way around to get the paths down there, in a nice looking way, not just like a spiral staircase or something.
It's
I
all
think
very
this
close,
worked
isn't it?
Rather well. It was. I thought it was gonna be like hating the Ferris wheel a lot more and not.
No, you
allowing
got
me to
that
put the
perfect.
paths in.
Anyone
Actually, I
leaning
think
over
it
like an
placed-
idiot can't quite touch
think-
the Ferris wheel, which is good.
Yes. Yeah, I think I put like the right path first, because it's pretty symmetrical. So I put the right side first, and then I moved the Ferris wheel slightly, and then I was able to put the left path, like the left side.
Ah,
I couldn't
right.
make both of them at the same time because it didn't allow it, but now it works. So I don't know why it's just doesn't like it.
Look at the cladding underneath these paths. This is
Yes.
just thousands of pieces, isn't it? Well, no, actually,
I mean, it's
what
not that
was the
many.
final
No.
piece count? Because I know I gave you a little bit more than everybody else. I think I gave you
You
15,000,
gave me
didn't I?
15? Yes, 15,000.
Did you
I
use
think
them all?
I landed on like 13.
13,000
was.
for a weenie like this.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good. Plus the fact that it's got a ride and all the shops in it as well.
Yeah,
And
it
this
just
is the
kinda makes
bottom
its way
level.
down. Exactly. And that's what I guess I would call the plaza, or like, you can walk around it kind of.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the cladding underneath the paths. The underside, I always forget the underside of my buildings.
Yeah, that's something that they're easy to forget about, but then I always kind of make a walk through the thing and like a look up and I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
doesn't look too nice from beneath. with like the paths just bare. So yeah.
It's just
And then with the little views on the
phenomenal.
side, I kind of just had to put something on the walls. It seemed very empty there, so like, you know, a few gears.
Yeah, well, it works, and
pretty well.
it all gives to the illusion of the of this big, massive water wheel that you can venture around inside. Where's the entrance to the wheel?
It's a bit more on the right. You're going the right way already.
Ah, there it is.
Past that shop. Yes. It's not a huge entrance sign and stuff, and it's also not like the best queue you've ever seen.
It'll work though, won't
yeah.
it?
It is one.
We've got a nice little grid pattern, and we've got it all bordered up with the old custom curbage and things like that. It's nice, mate. Don't sell yourself too low. I like it. I like it. It's really nice. And then we're going back out the other
You
side.
just go straight through it, and yeah, the exit is ready.
Does anybody fancy watching a show? Should we watch the daytime show? Just have a quick look around this before we go to nighttime. You see, because the
Nighttime
night
is like the main show, definitely.
Oh yeah, and the nighttime views are just beautiful. So I'm just giving a one more 360 round this. Absolutely incredible. Such a good build, mate. Hey Ethan, welcome in. Right, I think I'm ready for a daytime show. Who wants a daytime show? Let's go for it.
I'm down.
Get down for it. So the daytime show, talk us through it. Obviously you can't see fireworks in the day, so we can't have fireworks. You can't see lights in the day, so no lights. But we do have what's involved in this show again?
It's a water show. There's a few fire effects going off. There is a bit of fireworks as well, but like a little. It's not the main part of it. It's mainly the show, mainly the water that is in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you use the Planet Coaster music, the in-game music.
Yes.
Because it just works well. I think there's even like for the nighttime show, I also used all of the Planet Coaster musics. There's no custom audio for it.
I got a little bit
like
emotional watching
there's like
the
a
night one.
special fireworks mix from one of the songs for Planet Coaster.
Is there?
A single one.
Ah.
Yeah, it just says like the same name, but fireworks.
Ah, right, okay.
So I don't know if it's actually much different, but it's yeah.
Well,
We'll
it's
see that
majestic. It's absolutely incredible.
Exactly.
The music, and you've got those fireworks
and
beautiful
it
with
works so well.
So I've turned the music off, just so we can see it.
I mean, again, he's known for making good sequenced shows. of flat rides and stuff. So he makes like lights, triggers, like kind of how I did it similarly. But he makes quite complicated shows on them, and he uses a lot of triggers, a lot of sequencers, and I kind of did it the same way he did.
All right.
How you use the sequencers to make a show.
We'll have a look at the
Basically,
sequences
there's
in a
like
minute.
a lot of sequencers. There's one sequencer for one little sequence of like effects, pretty much. So like the little bridge fountains on the side are one sequencer, and each of the splashes is one sequencer. Basically.
This is just insane. Look at it going off. Fire, water flying out everywhere. I wouldn't want to be on this island when those shows went off.
Yeah, I think
feel like you're
it would be
being
a little
attacked.
warning before the show starts.
Well,
Kind of
you'd
just
probably
saying you could get wet and stuff.
you get your security guards in here and they just put a barrier across, and no one's going on the island for a bit. Close down the ferry. We've got a show in a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's
Yeah,
go and have a
it's-
look at this
it's a lot of
sequencer then.
sequencers.
Hold on, let's get in here.
So like the sequencers you are on the island are just like the trigger to start the show, but they are not like all of them. That's like
Oh, have you
a
got
fraction of
sequences
what is there.
everywhere?
So if you go underground, if you will, just below the island, you should see a board, or two boards for day and night show. If you want to show that already, and there's a lot of sequencers down there.
Where are we going?
So like inside the terrain, you kind of have to go.
Oh, inside the
like,
terrain.
Camera, just go down. Yeah,
So these ones are
just put it
literally
down.
just to trigger it off.
Yeah,
They're
just
like
to
your
start the
main
show.
sequencers, aren't they? And then you've got sequencers linked up to them. So where
I
is
think
it?
those like 6 or what is it, 8 triggers just start the show. They
Okay.
start the main sequencer.
Where are we
You
going?
just gotta go a bit lower and it's like right under it, right under the island, and
Oh
just
my god, how much stuff
further
have you
down.
chucked in here? Look at all this stuff going on. We've got fireworks, water.
further on the left a little bit, I think.
Oh my
hanging,
goodness, look at
behind
this.
it
There we
before.
go. This is
There you see
insane.
it.
This is
That's them.
insane.
So that's all of them.
Oh my
and I did it very
God.
similarly, I think, to how Username does it.
This.
So each of these are like kind of sorted to make sure you know which sequencer does what, and there's each sequencer does a little something different.
Oh
and in the
mate.
main show, you just put one of them. You just trigger the sequencers, kind of.
Great show, main screen.
Thank you, Username. I am happy that I managed this as well.
This is bonkers, mate. This is absolutely bonkers.
I mean, you expected a show, and for me, like a little thing with like a few fountains and things going off. I wanted to make a proper show, and that's why I decided also to spend a lot of the time on the show itself and not necessarily the build. So yeah.
I mean, looking at that there, that kind of thing would give me nightmares.
I was like, I knew you told me like you could make a show, and I'm like, I don't really like sequencers, if I'm honest.
You
They're
don't like
just tedious
sequencers?
work, right?
How many have you
They're
got?
just tedious work. They're just tedious work of like clicking things a lot, and it's just boring to kind of make.
Well, I'm sorry that I bored
But
you.
it's so worth it in the end. It's so worth it in the end. Once it's done, it looks so good every time. So I hate them, but I love them.
That's insane. So each sequencer is a different section of the show, effectively. A different.
And I don't know
And
if
then
I
they're all
put
linked
that in
into
there. If you put
one.
your-
Sorry.
If you put your flashlight on, like right when you're down on the board, you
All right.
see that there's like lights or like whatever the sequence is starting. There's like a little, to kind of mark what it does or for what type of effect
Oh
it's
my
responsible
god!
for,
Look,
or they're, like,
it's
marked.
so in depth. Water effects.
Just so I know which one to click and I don't have to search through all of them.
Test everything.
Oh, that's the math button. on the-
Main
That just
sequencer.
triggers all of it.
Other effects. Fireworks. Guys, you want to know how to do sequences? Speak to Bear. Like
Both.
both of you, either or.
Yeah, I kind of learned it now.
Look at this.
And you see that on the right. There's like a
white.
lamp there, and that just shows which lamp it kind of starts. So yeah, just for me to know. And the light show is a lot more complicated than the day show
Yeah.
because there's a lot more things going on, which you'll see later.
It's bonkers. It's bonkers. The nighttime show. It's absolutely incredible. It's insane, mate. I love it. That that just there is a work of art. I mean, you see how much trouble this guy's
put that on
gone
the
to
workshop.
build us a show. I feel bad for putting you through that. Look at it.
No, that's fine. It's all good. It was also like I wanted to do shows before, but I never did it because I was like, this is boring. I hate it. Yeah, and I moved on. But now I did one, and I'm happy that I did because it just looks great once it plays, when it's finished.
It's
so worth
incredible.
it. But they're annoying to make.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I would do, Sirius. One sequencer with 300 plus triggers in it.
That's the thing. It
That's how I
limits the
built
amount of triggers you
Gremlin,
can put in it.
for example.
For the day show, I have two separate. So I have the main sequencer, which plays two main sequencers that both play the show because it didn't have enough trigger points because it limited them.
I didn't know it had limits. I've never got that far.
It does, I think. Or maybe there's a setting, but like I don't know. I think it's like 50 triggers or something, maybe. And then that's all it is.
Oh, Christ.
So yeah.
I think the most I've ever got to was 42 triggers. Anyway, I think it's time to turn the lights off. This is it at night. So this is it from afar.
Yes, indeed. It is.
It's very pretty.
Not too many lights. It's just, you know, the basic lighting for nighttime when the show isn't playing.
Yeah.
No worries. And the Ferris wheel also sticks out a lot. Like it has those beams that I don't know if you could recolor them. I don't think so because I tried.
Let's have a look.
But it kind of looks nice when it moves, and yeah, I like those Ferris wheel lights.
No, you can't. Don't think you can.
They're just white, right? Yeah.
They're white with the red on them, so you're stuck with red, aren't you? Whether you like it or not, because they got that like red.
So. Or maybe the red comes from a color I put in, but it might be white, and then whatever color is next to it, it kind of makes it glow a little bit. It's like neon.
Yeah.
Neon, like long.
But you can't change it, unfortunately. But it works really nicely, and especially with the orange lanterns and things, the yellows work. Yeah. And then when the fireworks go off at night, you forget that red because there is so much colour and stuff going on. Let's have a look downstairs. Yeah, way more. See, it's really nicely lit. You've got plenty of illumination walking around this at night. You're not gonna bump into stuff. And we'll have a look downstairs. I love these little globes all around it that just give off.
I love those lamps. Yeah, the little round ones. They're also nice when you don't have them activated. They still kind of give off like this white glowing.
Yes.
I use them on buildings a lot as well. Yeah, overall.
And sinking them halfway like that makes them look different because obviously they're an interior light. They're like a ceiling light, aren't they?
I think so. I think that's what it's meant to be. Yeah. Or it's I suppose. And you can also like put a chain on them and hang them from the top and stuff. Like you can use this quite well.
Really versatile piece. Anyway, guys, I think it's time. Who wants to see a nighttime fireworks, lasers, lights, fire spectacular? Who wants to see it? This is
all the effects.
Incredible. This is incredible. Are we ready?
Dan stuplu mont una tik batun versi prulu dunak. Timun pafu dan stuplu mont. Pafu kappa omerolons, steepy, nuki at roots, in lumont ab alotem. Yola baos one eu dalfu fontavu isatro.
What? Mate, you are a god on this game. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
First time I watched that, I was just like, I got all a bit choked up. Like, and then Winterland pops up at the end. I'm like, oh!
Yeah, that was like one of the first fireworks I put in. It's like Winterland. I'll have that in the end.
It's so good.
It works so well with the music. It is. I found that soundtrack. I was like, okay, it's called the firework soundtrack or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's the perfect soundtrack for a fireworks show. So yeah, and it's so nice and epic.
Reddy says, yeah, that was all right.
That means it's good, right?
Yeah. You've impressed the Northerner. That'll do. I need
Nice.
tissues. I was close. I was choked up. I don't cry very often, but it was like I felt myself welling up a bit. I was just like, oh my god, mate, this is just insane.
The music just hits perfectly.
The music
Really,
makes
I
it.
was-
The music makes
yeah.
that, and I'm a big fan of that. Just in general, everyone knows I'm a bit of a muso. For me, music makes the world go round. You know, sound, audio is one of the most incredible senses. For me,
And it just adds so much emotion and stuff to everything. Literally, like this night show would be half as good without music.
Disney got your number yet, Bear?
Don't think so.
Even I need tissues. I mean, this is why This is why all week I've been saying you've got to see this. You've just got to see this. That for just it's beyond anything I could even dream of doing in this game. I've got it loaded now on the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again try and play it. But we're going to have no sound, so you can talk and see if it works. Hopefully it should. So I'll press play, and I just love the way you built the bridges in.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be doing the
because they're
announcement. at the
very, I
moment.
don't know. They're very symmetrical, and they just work well to kind of make the whole show bigger and like wider. It's not just the island anymore.
No.
It's like almost the whole lake kind of lights up, which is I love
It's-
that. And that way, I kind of made the weenie be bigger, even though it's not. A
Yeah.
little bit with the lights, because those blue or like the animated lights, I think it is, with those like beams that go off.
Yeah.
Those are like perfect for night shows because they shoot out a real beam, and they're not like just they don't just react to the surrounding areas kind of. And they work so well for night like animated stuff, animated shows. And there's a lot of different ways those move as well. So yeah,
What, the animated
use
lights?
those.
They're rock solid. I can't
Yeah,
work
those
them.
beams in the middle. They're hard to work with because it depends on how you trigger them. If you just play them, they move, but they don't light up, and you can't make the light disappear. So the only way to get the light to turn off is by having them on black color.
Yeah.
That's how you turn them off. So they're technically always on, but they don't play, so they move,
Ah.
which is confusing. That's very confusing.
Well, it works.
Um,
I love the blue
It
on
does,
this.
yeah.
I love the
You gotta
bluey
figure it out
purple on
first.
this, and the way that
yeah,
the
yeah.
way it lights up the ring.
The idea kind of was to have kind of the bluey parts where water parts is, so like where the rapids are. It's kind of like water kind of travels up and stuff.
Mm.
The idea of at first was maybe to kind of incorporate water effects as well, even though you can't really see them. But yeah, it's not worth because you can't see them at night. But then there could have been like sprinkles going off when the blue light hits and stuff. And yeah.
Again, that's Planko.
Things I could have
Why Planko?
that's-
Why does
yeah.
water look black at night?
Yeah.
Why? Because you could have fountain shows at night. I saw some amazing ones in Dubai
Yeah.
and
if-
stuff like that.
I've seen some ones. Yeah, I've seen some ones like very locally, right where I live.
Mm.
They put a little new thing, and they kind of light the water from beneath, and it makes it look like a laser, but it's water, and it's so good, and it just doesn't work with Planet Coaster. I didn't try putting a light under it, but I'm almost certain that it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
the
It
same
doesn't.
way it would in real life. So yeah, sadly. and yeah, the little fire as well. It's just adding more and more effects to it, really, and finding ways to sync it to the music.
Wait, mate, I'm just sitting here watching it over and over again. That's what I did for about half an hour when you sent it to me that night. I just sat there going, right, watch it again, watch it again, watch it again, watch it again. It's just phenomenal.
I'm very proud of that show.
You should be, mate.
I'm
This
very,
is...
very proud of it.
Well, it's beyond
Because
anything
it's
I've
like,
ever seen.
again, I've never made one. I didn't finish one. I started like 1 or 2, but then I didn't see it through.
Yeah.
But again, this is like, so the show itself is a weekend of work. I think
weekend.
like a full weekend. With a weekend, I mean, I literally got up at like 9, 10 a.m. and I played it until like literally like night, evening for 2 days. Because during the week I didn't have time to work on this, so it basically was 2 weekends and a few days, like maybe 3 or 4 days during the week, and that was it. So yeah, I knew I just had to have those weekends off everything so I could work on it.
Well, just let's just remind everyone here, while we're at this, Bear had 2 weeks for this. He gave me the part back. Just, I mean, I think it was probably an hour or 2 before the 2 weeks was up. So he used under 2 weeks.
It was 2 hours or something.
2 hours, yeah. So he used 2 hours under the 2 weeks, and the first week of that, he literally just sunk the big wheel, sunk it down, and built the path in.
The ring on it.
Yeah, and you put the path in. That was it for 1 week, and then the second week is when you actually went to town on it. So this is realistically like 1 week of building. Would you say?
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh look, the day show's going off
like
again.
1 week of intense and like a lot of building. I would normally not work on Planet Coaster that much, I think, because the trigger working on that weekend was a bit much, if I'll be honest. It was literally all day just clicking triggers from 1 to 1, changing values, and
And it must get really boring and monotonous.
I wanted to finish it, and it was a challenge, and I took it as a challenge, and it was very fun.
Mate, it's just a phenomenal build. I'm sure everyone agrees. There's a lot of chat going on, and me and you are just chatting away here. I'll just go back to what everyone's saying here. So I'll go back to V. That was the last one I read. Can't Bear be a bit olderless instead of Oldermore? I love Fuero. No. So funny. Olderless instead of Oldermore. Bear is beyond Disney. Massive inspiration. Yeah, humongous inspiration, mate. I mean, I think there's most people who like this game, who love building this game, who think they're maybe half decent at it in any way, shape or form, would look at this and go, I hope people would look at it and go, right, that is what I aspire to. It is an inspiration watching and seeing your buildings, mate. Yeah. Honestly, it's a proper inspiration. And I really hope people see it
like that, and not as, oh my god, I'm so shit, I don't want to play this anymore, because I can never get to that point.
Yeah,
that's just I don't want to do that.
I mean, people, so I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I can build like you build, but I can use bits, maybe, you know.
Yeah, and like, you know, you can see at some like places and how I do things and how I use pieces. I don't know. It's hard to learn how to be good at Planet Coaster, I guess, because it's like it's very.
Well, I think you've just got it, haven't you?
And
it's.
I guess so. I don't know. I just love creating and building things.
Yeah.
And this game is just perfect because I'm not good at drawing, for example, but this is like perfect for me because I can.
Anyway. Thank you very much, Bear,
sketch
for
work.
this. Is there anything more that you would like to talk about with this? Because we could talk about it for hours. We could watch it over and over and over and over again. Is there anything more that I've missed before we
no,
move
it's
on?
Quite straightforward. There's no hidden gems. There's no like secrets and stuff. So it's very straightforward. But I'd just like to thank you for inviting me and having me on and having me as the last builder and all that. That's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
And also just good job on this. As being the organizer of it all, you did an awesome job with this, and I love this project.
It's a phenomenal park, isn't it?
It is.
When I first started this, I was just like, I want to do something for the community.
That is what it is. Exactly. And I love that.
But I never thought in a million years that it would turn into this, what we've got here. It's a very, very good park. This is a theme park that's realistic. You could go. This is not something beyond what you would see in real life. It's just phenomenal. I think it's a real good achievement. Thank you to everyone being part of it. Carry on, mate. Sorry.
And I love the fact that it's like that it has a backstory and all. Like it starts with being completely empty, and it's like a story of the whole park getting expanded and built up. I don't think I've seen that quite like that before, where it was like a story like this, where it was a process of building it, and not just I'm gonna start a park from ground up. Now all of a sudden there's a huge park there.
Yeah.
So I love that aspect as well.
Well, I'm all about story, me. So I built a park. I built a scenario. I was thinking, right, I'm going to build a scenario and I'm going to give it out to people and see what they do with it. And it just kind of, the idea escalated as I was building. I was thinking, oh, we could have it as like a community build. We can invite different people each week and it'd be good. So right here is Sirius's build. Okay. This originally was a farm. All right. Windermere Farms. And then there was a big mountain behind it. And then over here was like a caravan holiday park with a newly built man-made beach. Here, this was all forest at the back. All right. And over here was a quaint little Italian village called Bella Buono, which is good nice in Italian, I believe, if I got my translation right. So that's where it started. And I then got my head started spinning and coming up with ideas, and I decided to get my next door neighbour down the road who's Italian, well, not next door, 4 doors down. I said, right, can you do some voiceover work for me? Because and then I got a bloke coming in doing a German accent, a terrible German accent. Yeah, the old map is still on the workshop somewhere if anyone actually fancies playing it. But yeah, and we had these areas as we were building. The theme park was growing, we were making money, so we were able to buy more land. Then we cut a deal with the holiday park to build them a hotel and have their land to build another area. Then we had over here areas, because it's National Heritage Site, because of the Winder Falls, which are down there. We weren't allowed to terraform and stuff like that. So there was all lots of little intricacies that just made it a bit more fun. And then obviously when
that's what I love about it, all the backstories.
Yeah, and when we floored this Italian, we floored this Italian village to build Relly's area, but that meant we needed residential areas. So we then invited other builders in to build us a residential area, and we've got all these wonderful apartment buildings here. Anyway, the bottom line of it is it's turned out to be something really, really cool.
Indeed.
Before I play this final video, Bear, I just want to know from you: is there anything else you want to say before I let you go? Because I'm gonna be moving the stream on now to the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, again, thank you very much for inviting me. Congrats to everybody for who built in this thing, for all of the creators. The fact that each of these areas is 2 weeks of work is pretty amazing. Yeah, love the format, love the park, and I want more of this. I love stuff like that. Really.
Well, I might be persuaded in the future to do something like this again. But thank you so much, mate. It's honestly, it's a proper privilege to having you building something essentially for me. I am so stoked that I could get the level of builders we've had in this, like proper big streamers, big Planko streamers. Even Moomin built something over there. We got a beautiful little Moomin Little Socks Cove.
Some big names.
We've got some huge names, and you'll see them all in the video anyway, guys. But thank you so much, Bear. You are
thank you very much.
A Planko god, to be honest. I don't think anyone will disagree with it. And this is a proper achievement. Thank you so much for getting knee-deep in sequences, something you probably never wanted to do or never thought about doing too much in depth. But what you've achieved is utterly phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, mate. And I'm going to have to say goodbye. Catch you on the flip.
See you guys. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I'm going to put you on to the final video. We're going to say goodbye to the 2-week challenge now. Sum it all up. We're going to hear from the Italian again. We're going to hear from the German again. And I suppose it's the end. Thank you very much.
Well, that's it. The 2-week challenge has reached its climax, and I feel very warm and fuzzy.
We at Winterland TV want to thank everyone who has taken part in the 2-week challenge. I'm sure you will all agree that this community build has surpassed all expectations, and we couldn't be happier with the final outcome.
Let's go back to the beginning, where all this began.
Welcome to Lake Windermere. Nestled deep in the Tyrolean Alps, Lake Windermere is a picture of tranquility. The small character village of Bellabuono forms a picturesque ensemble with its old castle ramparts, ancient houses, 15th century bridge, medieval hilltop chapel, and verdant riverbanks. Predominantly a farming community, in recent years, Bellabuono has seen lots of development due to tourism. Every year, hundreds of European tourists descend upon the area to visit the famous waterfalls and river rapids north of the lake. The new holiday resort, boasting panoramic views, affordable accommodation, and an inland beach on the shores of the lake, has helped with growth, and there are new exciting opportunities for more recreation as local farmers look to cash in on rising land values. This is where we step in.
Let's take a look as we take one final sweep through your glorious creations.